the world to provide for his wife and children.
Mother says we're ruined. Is that true?
Your mother is, as usual, quite correct.
It appears that we owe this result to your skillful management.
Beg your pardon.
It's all right, Father. She's getting at me.
I'm glad to hear it. I was under the impression that your remark was addressed to me.
It was. May I ask how long you've known your affairs are in this state?
How long?
Yes, how long? 6 months?
Probably. Does it matter?
Of course it matters. Why on earth didn't you tell us this before now?
My wife knew. I don't know that I was under any obligation to consult you.
If you had, you couldn't be worse off than you are now, anyhow.
Is it any good tackling the matter this way?
Yes.
Edgar,
It's no use looking at me. If you can't make Sid shut up, I'm sure I can't.
I complain that you've treated us just like a couple of children.
Is that surprising?
We could have given you some useful advice at any rate. Well, at least I'm sure I could.
I don't doubt it.
For instance, why didn't you give up Brookbank long ago and move into a smaller property? What object was there in keeping this expensive place going?
You know, there is a bit of sense in that.
I lived at Brookbank because I chose to do so.
Yes, at other people's expense.
Oh, Sydney, pray be careful what you are saying.
Well, we may as well tell the truth. There's no one around for us to hear. Oh, gosh. What madness the pretence of these past few months has been. We've hung on here getting deeper and deeper into the mire, all because you were too afraid of what people would say.
Okay, Sid, you better chuck it.
You just don't understand how I feel about this. I can't help it. Suppose I've been brought up differently from you. We ought to have gone to live in a house at 7 and 6 a week instead of staying on here and getting into debt. But you wouldn't have considered that respectable now, would you? No doubt you think it's more respectable to fail for £20,000 than to admit that you're just a poor man like the millions around you.
These impossible ideas are the stock in trade of every blackguard and an agitator who prefers sponging in idleness to working honestly for a
You
living.
ought to be the last person to bring that up against anybody.
How dare you?
What you call speculating, I call gambling. And when you gamble without being able to pay if you lose, I call that thieving. You criticise my ideas. You call it impossible. Well, I tell you what, if you had more of my impossible ideas and less of those of your class and your sex, you might be less of a gentleman. But you'd be a good deal more of a man.
Go to Sydney, Edgar.
And inform her that I shall expect an apology before I speak to her again.
I don't think you'll get one.
Since Edgar appears to have no authority over his wife, Mary, perhaps you'd be good enough to inform her, take the opportunity to inform her that so long as she's in my house, she'll have to behave herself.
I will speak with her if you wish me to. But
no, I should say no more about it.
I beg your pardon.
Well, remember, Sydney's an excitable girl, and I've no doubt that she's already sorry for some of the things that she said. Just let it drop. You don't mind me giving you this advice, do you?
It's very kind of you, but I don't recollect asking you for your advice.
Oh, indeed. Well, I'm sorry I spoke, but I thought since I've been invited to
Did
attend...
I ask you to come here?
No, but your wife did.
I notice it generally is my wife who asks you to come here. I should have thought you might have the good grace, Mary, to do like Mr. Ritchie today.
Oh, Forsyth!
I asked Mr. Ritchie because he's one of our oldest friends, and I thought it would do you good to talk with him.
You're not usually so solicitous about me. I imagine there was also the desire to gossip about me behind my back, and to console yourself with a little ready sympathy.
And if that's true, well, who can blame her? Because she's never had any sympathy from you.
Even as one of my wife's oldest friends, you presume on your position.
Oh, do I? Well, I'll presume a little bit further by your leave. Your wife has been perfectly loyal to you all this time. And until today, she's never told me a word of your difficulties and the struggle she's had to conceal them. Never a word, I say. By God, I wish she had. Or I might have been able to do something to help her.
I dare say. I believe you admire my wife.
I do. I admire her immensely. I think she's one of the finest women alive.
You haven't had to live with her.
And I think it's a confounded shame that she's tied to a man who doesn't appreciate her. Good evening.
Good evening. You know your way out.
I do.
When you've got out, that should be good enough then to enter my house again.
I won't.